They told me to let it go. Said the Zodiac killer was probably long dead or just a myth built on hysteria. But I knew better. I'm Detective Rachel Vega, Cold Cases Division, SFPD. I've spent almost a decade chasing shadows, and last week, I finally touched the edge of one. It began with a degraded DNA sample from the edge of a 1969 envelope, a Zodiac letter. For years it sat in evidence, but new tech gave us a partial match. It led to a niece. Pharmacy tech in Modesto. She had an uncle who kept to himself. Kind of strange, she said. Doesn't do phones or the internet. Reads a lot. Real old school. Calls himself Arthur Bell. Every Tuesday morning, he went to the public library. Same booth. Same time. I went the next Tuesday. He was already there. Thin. Silver hair, carefully combed. A wool coat. Calm. Studying a chess book. But when he looked up at me, I felt it. A kind of quiet dominance, like he'd already played out our entire conversation in his head. Detective Vega, he said smoothly, you finally made it. I hadn't said my name. Hadn't shown a badge. Still, I sat down. You're Arthur Bell? I asked. He smiled faintly. Does it matter? You're the Zodiac killer. He nodded, gently. Now that you've said it out loud, how does it feel? I slid a file across the table. A copy of the letter with his DNA. We have enough to bring you in. No, you don't, he said, eyes twinkling. You have enough to suspect. That's not the same. I have your words. Your cipher. Your match to a family member. But no prints. No confirmed kills. Just puzzles and theater. He leaned forward. That's what makes me art, Rachel. Not blood, control. He reached into his coat, slow, deliberate. I tensed, hand on my hip. He pulled out a folded sheet of paper. One last puzzle, he said. Already solved. The note was handwritten, familiar symbols and glyphs. Underneath, a typed line. It says, you never had a chance. I looked up, jaw tight. Is this your confession? It's your conclusion, he said. I stood. You're under arrest. He didn't flinch. You can try. Just then, there was a loud thud behind me. A man, maybe mid-60s, collapsed near the library entrance. Books scattered. A woman screamed. He's not breathing. People rushed over. Someone yelled for help. I turned instinctively, hand brushing my radio. That's when I made the mistake of looking away for just 5 seconds. By the time I turned back, he was gone. The chair was empty. The coat still hung on the backrest. And no one saw him leave. Security footage showed nothing. The man who'd collapsed? A local, real heart condition. Coincidence? Not likely. The paramedics said he'd stabilized, but he had no idea what happened. Someone had helped him sit down before vanishing. He was just a piece on the board. Another move the Zodiac planned ahead of time. Later, I found a final note inside the coat pocket. Typed. Clean. You came closer than anyone, Rachel. I wanted to see if you could find me. You did. But catching me? That was never the game. You tell the story. I become the myth. Z.